G'day YouTube, it's Brett here from Overtime Gaming with you once again, and welcome back with some more FIFA 13 connected career time. Of course, it's with our MLS series mode here with the Seattle Sounders, and it's getting to crunch time here in the MLS. It's getting towards the last few games of the season. This is the MLS Cup final, the US Open Cup final, sorry, against the Houston Dynamos. And Friday's episode is actually the final regular season game before the playoffs. So we head into this US Open Cup final. Of course, we've had a great run in the US Open Cup. We've only had to play a couple of games though because of how good we did in the league last year. Of course, going and winning the playoffs. And because of that, we earned ourselves a spot because of those two great games. One against Real Salt Lake here in the US Open Cup final against the Houston Dynamo here. This is going to be a great game for our team, and is one we really need to be excited about, and one we should definitely look to push forward and attack the Houston Dynamo, as we are the far better team, guys. I mean, you look at our teams on paper, we are an extremely talented team. Of course, we've got a few injuries. Tony Vilhena is still out. Christian Benteke is still out. So is... who else is injured? There's a couple more injuries as well, guys. So we're a bit light on our feet, and we really need to step it up in this episode. We could use a huge win here in the US Open Cup to give us some momentum after suffering a loss in the last episode against the team at the top of our division, FC Dallas. So we could really use a big win here, as it looks like we're going to drive forward, but De Guzman couldn't quite get there. We could use a big win here in the US Open Cup to give us some momentum going into the last game of the season. Then hopefully we can push forward in the last game of the season, pick up a win there to give us some momentum going into the playoffs, guys. Now, if you didn't know, this is completely live comms. I thought, seeing as this is cup final, I might as well do it live comms, guys. So sorry if I lose my focus for a bit because I'm trying to play the game, obviously. But it is completely live comm, so it could be slightly different. Let me know what you think of the whole FIFA live comm situation. I probably will do it for the MLS Cup final as well. Guys, when this season ends, whether that be we get knocked out of the playoffs early or if we win the MLS Cup, that will be the final episode of this series, because by then it should only be around a week away from FIFA 14 release. So I'm going to stop the series there rather than starting a whole new season and then having to stop like 2 weeks in when we get FIFA 14. So because of that, we're going to stop after the MLS Cup final, or if we get knocked out of the playoffs. But we could really use a win. I'd love to end this series with a great win in the MLS Cup final, going back-to-back champions, and this year doing the double as well. I'd love to win the US Open Cup here, so hopefully we can do that. As you see, it's 20 minutes in, nothing really happening for either team right now. Neither team being able to push forward great. Houston just haven't linked up well with their passing so far. And I just haven't been able to get the final ball through the defence to get anything going. Charlie Austin is knackered. He hasn't had a rest yet. And that's, of course, because the injury is still to Christian Benteke. So he isn't going to be with us for the rest of the season. He's not going to be there in the playoffs. So although it was a great signing getting Benteke, it hasn't worked out for us because he's been injured for so long. So because of that, Charlie Austin has become our new #1 striker with Gary Hooper. They've played outstanding together, and we're probably going to give Hooper and Austin both a rest for the final day of the season, guys, just to ensure that they're fully fit for the playoffs. Now, half an hour in, so 10 minutes since I last said the time. You can see still nothing happening, just nothing happening for either team right now. Both teams trying to push forward, but just can't get that final ball anywhere. As you see, the sloppy pass there by the Houston Dynamo actually ends up with an offside decision going against them anyway. Now, we're trying to push down this right wing. We've got the extreme pace with Carvajal and Carlos Vela, so they definitely can take apart the Houston Dynamo left back and left midfielder there. We've got the skill on him as well. I mean, Carlos Vela is an extremely skillful player. He didn't show it there, but a good tackle there by Carlos Vela. Unlucky to not win the ball back for Carvajal there. But now attacking us down the side we want to attack is the Houston Dynamo with Davies and now Bruen. But nothing comes from it as De Guzman and his teammates shut him down. De Guzman trying to play the ball out from the back there. Hooper with it now on the halfway line. Good football this time by Seattle. And Gylfi Sigurdsson has actually broke himself through, but gets tackled at the last minute just before unleashing a shot, which probably would have gone into the back of the net, guys. I mean, Sigurdsson's got a beastly shot. He's fallen out of favour in real life with Tottenham because of the superb performances by Nathan Chadley, their new signing, and Andros Townsend, who of course has been called up to the England squad and will be one of my targets in my FIFA 14 Southampton career mode. He's an extremely talented young player and could be a superstar. Could you imagine me playing him at left midfield if Southampton, Gaston Ramirez, Jay Rodriguez, Lallana all playing with him as well, Ricky Lambert and Pablo Osvaldo as well. So we could really have a talented side if we manage to pick him up for FIFA 14. Other things in FIFA 14 I'm going to let you know about now. 3 targets I'll let you know about. First is Andros Townsend, of course, for our Southampton sign. The second is Asmir Begovic. We want an elite goalkeeper, and Begovic is that goalie. Might be able to pick him up for about 7 million, so that's a good deal, I think. Hopefully we can pick him up. And then the final target, and this is a huge one, is Diego Costa. He could add some great offensive work to our team. We'll probably play him at a centre-forward position with Osvaldo and Lambert playing in front of him. And we could have an extremely, extremely talented young side there as well if we manage to pick up those players. So let me know what you think about those decisions. Of course, they won't happen actually until FIFA 14. So you have to wait a couple of weeks now for that to occur. You see, we pushed forward and we almost scored the early goal in the second half there from Carlos Vela. Great shot, but De Guzman has the corner here. Great ball in. Nothing comes of it, but Claudio Jakob from outside the area unleashes 2 shots. Neither do anything. Neither really threatening the goal. One is just a straight ricochet, and then that one goes flying wide, so it doesn't trouble the goalkeeper at all. The speed of it kind of made it look better than it actually was. It was actually an awful shot. You have to watch it again if you think it was a good shot. You see, we're pushing forward 52 minutes in now. We really need to start making a sub. Our players will be knackered. We're going to take Charlie Austin off. Him and De Guzman are absolutely shattered. So we're going to be Snodgrass and Ricky Lambert on for them. So we've changed up our team slightly. We've lost 2 of our best players in Austin and De Guzman there, but we're changing it up and putting Snodgrass, who is an extremely talented player, and Ricky Lambert, who is an absolute beast. If you know me well, you know that I'm a huge fan of Ricky Lambert. I always have been, and yes, I'm a Newcastle fan, but I actually have a Southampton shirt with Ricky Lambert on the back. So I love Ricky Lambert. I always have. Southampton always used to be my lower league team the last few seasons when they got relegated. So because of that, I had a Southampton shirt with Ricky Lambert on the back, and I'm proud of that, to be fair. His goal for England on his debut, great header. He should have scored a couple more, to be fair, but unfortunately for him, wasn't able to turn them in the back of the net. He hit the post on one of them. One that he really should have slotted home was the one that he hit the post on. But unfortunately for him, it hit his shin. It came at him it took a bounce just before it got to him, so he wasn't able to turn it in. He still should have turned it in, even though there was the bounce, but he couldn't do it. But I'm a huge fan of Ricky Lambert. Let me know in the comment section below if you know who Ricky Lambert is. I appreciate there's a few Americans that watch this because it's the MLS, so you might not know who Ricky Lambert is if you don't follow the Premier League. But if you do follow the Premier League like me, let me know what you think of Ricky Lambert, and let me know what you think of Southampton as a team. Now, you see, late on in this second half, we're pushing forward now. We're just trying to get something going, but nothing's happening for us. It's actually Houston Dynamo who are pushing forward here. There's only about 20 minutes to go, and nothing is happening for either team. Neither side really being able to do anything. Carlos Vela trying to get something started for us, but still, awful touches by the strikers lead to the defenders winning the ball back over and over again. There's nothing happening for either team. I can't really speak of many shots. There was just that one by Carlos Vela, the couple by Claudio Jakob, but that's around it, to be fair. As you see, the Houston Dynamo almost get that sneaky FIFA AIDS goal there. The rebound falls to the Houston Dynamo striker, who tries heading it into the back of the net. Lucky for us though, Alex McCarthy and the defender react well and are able to turn that one wide. So it is a corner for the Houston Dynamo, so we've got to look to defend this one. It's a poor corner though, and we're able to clear it, but not outside of the area, and the Houston Dynamo get the shot away. Lucky for us, the captain sends it wide though. as it's the 76th minute, 15 minutes left in this game, and we're just trying to push forward. Sigurdsson down this left-hand side, and now Gary Hooper playing it to Robert Snodgrass. Snodgrass with the poor touch, can't do anything with it, but Sigurdsson wins the ball back here, plays it again to Gary Hooper, to Snodgrass. Snodgrass with the heavy touch again, lets the ball run to the defender. Snodgrass not showing himself at his best right there. Two poor touches, turns into 2 turnovers for the defence, and it wastes an offensive opportunity for us as there's only 8 minutes to go now. It looks like we're going into extra time. Gylfi's going to try and turn this one around and get us a late goal here. He's got some space down that left wing, gives it to Gary Hooper in the centre, playing it to Snodgrass. Snodgrass with the poor effort again though. Snodgrass really not doing much for us today after coming on for Jonathan de Guzman, but Lambert now trying to make some space for himself. Again gives it to Robert Snodgrass, who finds Hooper open in the box, and Gary Hooper, his 30th goal in all competition, this one in the 87th minute of the US Open Cup final, slots it home in the top corner and sends us up 1-0 here in the US Open Cup final, and may just have won the cup for us. What a vital goal. He's been an outstanding player for us all season, and that just proves his whole quality there. People that don't know him, he has just signed for Norwich in real life. He's injured at the moment, of course. He signed from Celtic, and that is why we picked him up. I thought I'd just give him a try. I've been a fan of Gary Hooper since he's been at Celtic, and I thought I'd give him a try in this series, and he's been absolutely outstanding for me. He had a slow start, but after that he just completely exploded, and his link with the likes of Carlos Vela and Charlie Austin now have been incredible, as Snodgrass sends that one home from outside the area and completely seals it for us here in extra time. It is 2-0 to the Seattle Sounders here, and we win the US Open Cup final. Snodgrass, who has been poor for us since he came on, slotted that one into the top corner, and we are now champions of the US Open Cup. As you see, we're just waiting for the final whistle to go now. I'm not sure why extra time's taking so long. There was only a minute worth of extra time, and I only played 4-minute halves, so it really should be over by now, but for some reason they're letting the Houston Dynamos go. But there's the final whistle, and we do pick up the win. You see the celebrations by the Seattle Sounders, hoping that this isn't their final trophy of the year. They'll love to go back-to-back for the MLS Cup, and hopefully they can push on now after winning this US Open Cup and go and become double champions and back-to-back champions. Great performance by those boys there, and peace out YouTube. We're heading into overtime.